Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club.
Yep, it's the show that is in your ears.
That's the one.
Sorry.
This is a Valentine's Day special.
Can't you tell from all the love that brims from our mouths?
It's only a few days late.
Well, it's Valentine's Day again. Maybe it'll be better than the last one.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day somewhere.
Here on this show is where.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, a year from now, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day in December.
Now, we have a special treat today.
Oh, what is that?
It's more porn.
Yay!
This is actually the other show I downloaded as a possible episode 69, but it wasn't crass enough.
We had to get something real raunchy and nasty.
So we went with the one that was too crass.
Is there no sweet spot?
No, there's no sweet spot. So we've got this one, which is, let's play the theme song.
もしもし、渡様は留守です。また10年後におかけください。
渡る、俺だ、和也だ。
てめえ、和也か？バカ野郎。夏休みの朝っぱらからよ。
すまん、実はな、俺の人生にとって重大な相談があるんだ。
知らねえよ。俺これから舞ちゃんに会いに行くんだから。
待て、冷てえぞ。舞の後でいいから付き合ってくれよ。
分かったよ。とにかく切るぞ。
約束だぞ。11時に駅前。
そういや、今日くるみちゃんの誕生日だったな。それでか、和也のやつ。
渡る、また女の子覗きに来たのか？
ミサ！
覗きなんて最低野郎のすることだぞ。
お前ひがんでんだろ。
何？
なんせミサは裸になっても筋肉ゴツゴツだから誰も覗かねえもんな。
陸上部のバンビちゃんと呼ばれてる俺に対して失礼だぞ。
バンビね。ま、好きにしてくれ。
渡る、手紙の返事書いてやれよ。
なんの？
美穂だよ。悩んでたぞ。あの子の順序踏みにじるんじゃないぞ。
分かってるって。俺は優しい男だからな。
渡る。
だな。
Dokyusei.
Dokyusei. The theme song's a little bit weird because the characters talk over the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cute. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, it's got that retro vibe.
Yeah, this was very retro. I like this period of anime.
Yeah, me too.
So, is Dokyusei, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dokyusei, which means classmates. This was a game that was released for PC in 1992, developed by Elf Corporation, who are known for the Dragon Knight games and for and various other adult erotic games.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to make a sweeping big statement here.
Do it.
I've looked into it and several other places. The thing is, every time I say something was the first of something, there's always someone who shows up and is like, actually, this other one came first. But I did my research and I couldn't find any others that came before this. And I found a few places saying this was the first one. But as far as I'm aware, Dokyusei was the very first game in the dating sim genre.
I feel like I have heard differently than that.
Yeah?
But now I can't remember what I heard the first dating sim was. So it's by total coincidence that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about visual novels lately, because I
Yeah.
found this channel that I have become obsessed with. And
Okay.
actually, I watched a video on Dokyusei the other day when I was in bed feeling like doo-doo because I drank too much.
Okay.
That YouTuber is Amelie Dore. She is very great. You should watch her stuff. The video that I'm referring to is Dokyusei is still a dating sim masterpiece. The thing about Dokyusei, though, is that it was kind of the first eroge to feature, like, really fleshed out characters and, like,
Right.
a good plot that just happened to have H scenes, whereas before, all of the eroge before that were just, you know what you're here for.
Right. That makes sense to me based on the content of this anime.
Yes.
I just did a quick Google while you were talking there, and the first thing that came up was Wikipedia, and it's the Wikipedia page for dating sims. What I Googled was first dating sim, and what it says here is, the first game that set the standard for the dating sim genre was Dokyusei, which relied more on timed events than dialogue choices. However, Tokimeki Memorial, 2 years later, truly popularized dating sims in Japan.
But it can't be 2 years later and be the first.
No, that's not saying it was the first. That's saying
Yeah,
that
I know.
Tokimeki is the one that popularized them.
Yeah.
But it says here Dokyusei was the first, and I don't know. But then it gives examples, and it gives 2 examples from 1985. So
Last time I checked, 1985 came before 1992, but
Yeah,
I'm not very
alright.
good at math. It sounds like Dokyusei kind of set the tone for future dating
Yeah.
sims and eroge.
Yeah. So yeah, it was ported to the Sega Saturn in 1996. It had several PC remakes, and then eventually it was finally released in English for the first time in 2022
Oh, yeah.
under the title Dokyusei Bangin' Summer.
We're not hiding what this is about.
But there's 2 versions of it. There's a censored version and an uncensored version.
Oh, well, that sounds like the usual bullshit.
Yeah, it does.
Is it something like getting it through Steam, you get a censored version, but you can, like, go to their website and get a patch that uncensors it?
From reading the reviews and comments on Steam, I think that's exactly what it is, yeah.
Listen, I get curious. I sniff around some weird games. I know what goes on in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of H games. I play all kinds of games.
That's true.
I don't think there's a single type of video game that I'm like, "Ew, I wouldn't play that." Give me some tasteful nudes, some non-tasteful nudes. I'll play them. I'll play the hell out of them.
Tower defense. I think that's the one type of game that I'm like, I could pass on that, actually.
Okay, yeah, you might be right. But I've tried it at least.
I have tried it, yes.
Yeah, I tried Dota. I tried Dota once. I got screamed at by somebody because I didn't know how to play. There was no tutorial in the game at the time. Maybe there is now. And I never tried again.
The tutorial is you need to watch at least 5 hours of YouTube videos explaining how to play Dota.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew some
No.
other guy was screaming at me, and I was like, "Wait, I just got here."
That was like when we played Left 4 Dead as zombies. It just
Oh, yeah.
throws you in, and then everybody else is yelling at you because you don't know how to be a jockey.
Yeah, that was a time.
That
our
sure
lives.
was.
But I've played it now with a full server of only people I know. And it's actually quite fun, although everybody got mad at me for winning because I was the only one who knew how all the zombies work.
Because of the one time we had played previously.
Not even that, just from because I'm the one who had played Left 4 Dead the most.
Oh yeah, so you know what the roles are supposed to be.
Yeah, I know exactly how the zombies piss me off. And I was able to use that to piss other people off.
I just feel like I spend all of my time trying to find somewhere to spawn,
That's
and then
the
I just
worst part
die
of it.
immediately.
Yeah, I hate that you have to choose where you spawn, because I'll find a good spawn point, and by then everybody's already past it, so I'm like, oh, gotta run and catch up with them.
Right, and then everybody's looking behind him because somebody's screaming, Jackie! And then you're dead.
Yep. Anyway,
Dokyusei.
got 3 sequels. It got Dokyusei 2, Kakyusei, which means underclassmates, Kakyusei 2, and also a Game Boy Color Mahjong spin-off called Jankusei.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. Yep, apparently there is a Mahjong spin-off for the Game Boy Color called Jankusei.
What is the audience for that?
Mahjong players who also like to see anime girls. I'm assuming
Yeah.
there's probably nothing erotic about the Game Boy Color one.
No, I don't think that there is, but that's kind of why it's so baffling.
Yeah.
Not that I think that these characters couldn't be taken out of a hentai-related situation and put into something more wholesome, but why would it be Mahjong?
Yeah, I don't know. I just googled it, and it looks like the subtitle of Jankusei is Cosplay Paradise.
Do you Mahjong for cosplay pieces?
In story mode, the main character must establish a Mahjong club at the school he attends by recruiting 5 girls within a week. Okay, so it's like Cherry Tree High Comedy Club, except it's a Mahjong club instead of a comedy club.
Except it's Mahjong.
You should play Cherry Tree High, it's great. I love that game. It's not even a dating sim, it's just... I guess it kind of is a dating sim, but it's not romantic.
It's a
just-
friendship simulator.
It is, it's a friendship sim. It's fun, I love it. I haven't played it in a long time, I should play it again.
I feel like I have it, but I might just be...
I think I
Making
got it
that up.
for you after I
That
played
makes
it.
sense. I do want to play it, but like visual novels, you know that you're in for a multi-hour reading experience, and I just haven't really been there in a while.
I think it's by Capcom,
Huh.
if I remember rightly. Anyway, the gameplay of Dokyusei is mostly wandering around the town as time passes. And in order to finish the storyline of a particular girl, you have to learn where she'll be at certain times of the day so that you can run into her and talk to her.
Accidentally bump into her.
Yeah, basically. That's the whole gameplay. So I see what it meant about, it's still not quite where dating sims ended up, because it's about chance encounters rather than dialogue choices, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So this is the first episode of a 4-episode OVA called Dokyusei When Summer Ends. Apparently, it was originally just a single 45-minute Laserdisc release, but they later expanded it into... They took that 45-minute one and expanded it into 2 half-hour episodes, and then added an extra 2 episodes to the end.
Okay.
It was released July 8th, 1994, so that's about 2 years after the original game came out. And it's written by Tsukihiro Tomita, who also wrote for Sailor Moon, Digimon Frontiers, Gundam, a bunch of other stuff. Pretty prolific writer.
I hear that this is basically lost media, though.
Yeah, I had a hard time finding it.
Yeah, and you can only get a janky subtitle one.
Yep, which is what we watched.
It was a little hard to follow at times.
It sure was. Yeah, at least it's not as lost media as Beautiful Joe is, though.
Yeah.
I was at least able to encounter this one.
The same janky one that's been passed around on the internet for years.
Yeah, all the scenes are stuck together. This was made by XXX, which was an alias of ARMS. It seems to be the name that they used whenever they were doing hentai stuff.
Secret hentai name.
ARMS is the studio behind Elfenlied?
Oh, I know that title.
How do you say it?
I don't know that much.
Okay.
I never actually watched it because it stunk to me like a show that was just being edgy to be edgy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that back when you were watching Blood Plus.
Yeah. Not edgy to be edgy, just full of blood.
Yeah, of course. It's called Blood Plus.
That was a good show. That's a great show. I miss it.
I haven't seen it. I just
pretty
know
good.
everything that happens in it because
Because I was watching it on YouTube back when YouTube was cool and everybody would just put a full anime on it.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, back before automated copyright claims.
Yep.
They really ruined YouTube with legal stuff.
Right.
So, our show opens with a naked girl swimming around while a guy watches, dry but underwater.
It's a dream. It makes sense. It's okay.
Yeah, it's immediately apparent this is a dream, right?
Yeah.
I could tell right away. Just from, like, the music and everything.
The strange blue overtones and the fact that this guy's just on a floating diving board watching.
Yeah, under the water, yeah. The girl swims up behind him, tells him that she knows he's been watching her, and confesses her love to him. But then, right as they kiss, he's woken up by the phone ringing, which is just typical.
Isn't it just?
This boy is Wataru Moroka, who is played by Mitsuo Iwata. And Mel, there's some real big name actors in this hentai anime.
There sure are.
Did you see who some of them were?
A couple of them, yes.
Okay, well, this guy was Kaneda in Akira.
Yes, I did know him.
He's also the Japanese voice of Orbot in the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Japanese Orbot, what a role!
He was Peter Pan in Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
And he's Kusanagi in the King of Fighters series. And then the naked girl swimming around is Mai Sakuragi, who is played by Miki Takahashi. I knew her recently because she plays Vess in Xenoblade 2. She's also Iris in Atelier Iris. And she plays both Mimi Lin and Hana in the Shimajiro series. I had never heard of Shimajiro, and I looked it up, and it's huge!
No, I don't know what that is either.
No, it's like a Hello Kitty type thing.
Really?
And there's so much of it, Mel. It's real cute, too.
Oh, I'm looking it up. Okay, that's pretty cute.
Yeah, he's this little tiger boy. I'm kind of into it. The character designs are really nice.
I want to watch this children's cartoon.
But I watched 2 episodes because I had to figure out who Hana and Mimi Lin are.
Right.
Hana is Shimajiro's younger sister, and Mimi Lin is the bunny girl. And but I had to figure that out through watching because this show seems to be huge in Japan. But it's really not very well documented outside of Japan. Even though there's an English dub, I just couldn't find out much about it.
Huh.
It seems to be on Netflix, and there's a ton of it on YouTube as well.
But nobody's talking about it?
Nobody's talking about it.
Gee, why is no one talking about this children's cartoon?
Well, listen, everyone wants to shut up about Bluey.
That's true, but I can't help but
Bluey
feel like...
once a day, but I can't hear about Shimajiro.
I mean, clearly Bluey is doing something that Shimajiro isn't.
Yes. No, I have watched some Bluey, and I actually did like it, but... Yeah, because my friend came over and was like, have you seen Bluey? And I was like, no. Why would I have seen Bluey?
I don't have a child.
They were like, you gotta watch 1 episode. So I sat and I watched 1 episode, and I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I have friends with kids that swear by it, not just for the kids, but for themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's because it feels real, even though it's about cartoon dogs.
Blue dogs, Mike.
Yeah, I think that's why people are relating to it so much, because it just feels like real interactions.
Yeah.
So Wataru has a framed creep shot of Mai getting out of the pool next to his bed. That's a bit weird.
It's super weird. Like a creep shot that you're immortalizing?
Yeah, clearly taken from that tree that he sits in to watch her swim. And like she's not looking at the camera or anything. She's talking to someone off camera.
Right.
And he's
I
framed
love that
it.
he doesn't even try to hide when he's in that tree. That's just his creeping tree, and people
I
know
know.
to expect him there.
I know. It was, it's funny because, well, we'll get to it. He's woken up by his friend Kazuya calling. This is Kazuya Sakagami, played by Issei Futamata. Things I knew him from, Mel.
Well, don't leave us in suspense.
He played both Otto and Astro Man in Mega Man 8. He was the voice of Chai in Shenmue. Chai was the little bald golem kind of guy.
Okay.
He's the voice of Skullomania in Street Fighter.
Okay.
He played Zorori in the original Zorori OVA, but that's not the Zorori show I watched. But, you know, he played the character. And he played Kinkotsu Man in Kinniku Man. That, for people who knew Kinniku Man as Ultimate Muscle, that character's name in English was Skullduggery.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it is.
Why is he all these skeleton people?
That's a very good question.
And how do you get that job?
Yeah. I want to be typecast as the skeleton. Kazuya wants Wataru to meet up with him. We learned that it's Kurumi's birthday, but we don't learn who Kurumi is.
No, why would we need that information?
And Wataru takes his moped to the pool on his little scooter.
His little scoot.
Scooting around, scooting do.
Don't! We can't!
Oh, is that an in-joke that's not allowed to be on the show?
I wouldn't say that it's not allowed to be on the show. It's just when you drop it without context like that, we're just gonna sound like crazy people.
Oh, please. Like we don't sound like crazy people on the reg.
Crazier. They haven't heard the Scooby-Doo cartoon songs. It's just any Monster Hunter song, but you replace the instruments with something about Scooby-Doo cartoon.
So, on his way to do some peeping at the pool, Wataru is confronted by Misa Tanaka, played by Satomi Kurogi. This is probably the actor that I was most familiar with, and maybe you are too.
Go on.
He's Togepi.
Aw, Togepi.
Togepi, what are you doing in this porno show?
Oh, that certainly makes the ending strange.
She's also Pichu.
Oh, that makes it better.
That's like the default Pichu, so she's like Smash Brothers Pichu. Of the Pichu brothers, she plays the younger one. She was Himawari in Shin-Chan. She is the voice of Starfy himself, of the legendary
Ooh.
Starfy series.
We were just talking about him.
Oh yeah?
No, we were talking about the other star. Ristar.
That's the one, officer. In the lineup, there's Starfy and Rista.
A Starman.
She is also in Japanese dubs of American things. She's Arnold in the Magic School Bus.
Oh, that Arnold.
And she was, yeah, not Hey Arnold. I'm sorry. Sorry to get your hopes up. And she was also Mindy in Animaniacs. Do you remember Mindy?
Not at all.
Mindy was the kid who was always being chased by the dog, and she would like wander into
Oh yeah, the
dangerous
little girl.
situations. Yeah, and she would go up to people and be like, "What you doing?" And then every time they answered, she'd ask them why. But I'm assuming she still did that in Japanese. I don't know.
Remains to be determined.
Yeah. So Misa is yelling at Wataru because he's a creep.
Because she knows he's going right up into that creeping tree.
Oh yeah, everybody knows. And she tells him that he needs to write back to Miho because Miho will be upset if he doesn't. There's a lot of people being mentioned here, and we've got no context for any of them. But
Yes.
I kind of liked how real it all felt.
Yeah, like if you were actually following this boy through his life for a day.
Yeah, it did a good job of like fleshing out that this is a boy who has a life going on. And yeah, I liked it, even though it was confusing. I mean, we're in the opening sequence here, so there are credits flashing up and stuff. And so when Miho is mentioned, Miho does appear on screen in a little box, along with the name of her voice actor and stuff.
Yeah, it's not hard to piece together from context what's going on, even though it's thrown us in the middle of the action.
Yeah. So Wataru gets into his tree and he's watching the girls getting into coming out the changing room to get into the pool. It's not a secret. He's not like hiding in the tree with a pair of binoculars. He's just sitting up there. As soon as they come out, he calls out to them so they know he's there.
Like, what is the point? Just like go in the pool.
Yeah, because it's not even like he doesn't have access to the pool, because we know like there's other guys in there, and like the other guy who's in there that talks to him, Kenji. He's not even dressed for swimming. He's wearing like a shirt and stuff. But
Yeah,
he's in the
he just
pool.
looks like the lifeguard.
Yeah. That's Kenji Aihara, played by Sho Hayami, known for playing Wolfwood in Trigun.
Oh,
Yeah, you know Wolfwood?
I love Trigun.
There you go then. He's also Maximilian Genius in Super Dimension Fortress Macross.
Good name.
He was Zarbon in Dragon Ball. And he's Reiji in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh.
Kenji gave me real Gaston vibes.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah?
Just a big himbo.
Yeah. Basically calls Wataru a loser. And then, which is true. But then he says that Maya's is his. Maya's
Right.
like his property or whatever. And I was like, okay, so we're not supposed to like this guy.
No. I do know from having watched that video that Kenji is Mai's boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
That is not made apparent to us in the first episode of this, at least. He just is a rival.
Right. So Wataru rushes off to meet with Kazuya, and together they go to a flower shop where Miho is working. This is Miho Suzuki, played by Junko Asami. She didn't have a whole lot that was very interesting to talk about, although we have heard her before.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was the voice of Girl in Rants.
Girl!
I'm going to assume that was probably the girl that he assaults at the very beginning.
That could be so many women!
I mean, yeah. But it's a character that isn't named. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Wataru buys a bouquet from Miho. Kazuya pushes up the price to punish him for being late. I wasn't sure, so Wataru is buying this bouquet for Kazuya to give it to Kurumi.
Yeah, I wasn't super clear on that either.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused by that. Felt like maybe something was missing there.
Right, like,
maybe
something that needed, like, a little bit of context.
Yeah, maybe in the game it's explained more, I don't know. But Miho brings out the bouquet and Kazuya runs off with them to go meet with Kurumi. Oh yeah, but Kazuya encourages Wataru to give up on chasing Mai, and then Wataru kind of insinuates that Kazuya's in the same situation with Kurumi.
Yeah.
So Kazuya leaves, and he takes Wataru's bike with him. And then Miho asks Wataru if he read her letter. And he pulls out some tickets to something, which I figured was a movie based on the, looked like a movie poster on the tickets.
Right. And based on the fact that they go to a movie later.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking like before I got to the movie part.
Okay.
She gets embarrassed and runs into the store and asks for him to respond via letter instead because she's shy.
That part was simultaneously so stupid, but also so cute.
Yeah, it was pretty cute.
Because it's like, you've already gotten the answer.
Yeah.
But okay.
She wants the romantic gesture.
I get it. That's why it's all so cute. Like, she's a
Yeah.
cute character.
Yeah. So we get to the coffee house where Kazuya is giving Kurumi her birthday present. Kurumi Nishina is played by Hitomi Oikawa, who I think she had the smallest credit list of all the ones I looked up for this show. She was the voice of Katri in Katri the Cowgirl.
Ooh.
Now, I've never heard of that show, but when I read Katri the Cowgirl, it's like cowgirl, two separate words.
Right.
So I'm picturing like a furry.
She's not a cow?
No, she's not a cow. She's like a ranch hand.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, right? I was confused. She's also the voice of Amy in Cream Lemon, who I think was the main character of Cream Lemon. I'm not sure. I've never seen or heard of Cream Lemon.
Mm-mm.
Kurumi says that she doesn't have anything to give Kazuya in return for the flowers. I don't think she knows how birthday presents work.
That's okay, because it sets us up for a joke.
Yeah, he says that she can give him a kiss or a hug, and she thinks he's joking. Or at least she pretends to think he's joking.
Right.
It's pretty clear that she's not as into him as he is into her. Wataru shows up, having walked all the way there. He's opened his shirt because he's too hot. Because I don't know if we mentioned it, but it is established that this show is taking place towards the end of the summer vacation from school.
Yeah, it's called The End of Summer.
I did say that, I guess. I thought it was strange that he's walked all this way and all he really does is walk in, deliver a one-liner and then leave. But I guess he had to come and get his bike.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's all he was here for, really. And he just wanted to mess with Kazuya for stealing his bike on the way.
Yeah, real toxic friendship.
When he walks in, there's a girl at the bar of this coffee house who asks him what happened. She's extremely minor in this. She only has that one line. But she is Satomi Kurokawa, who is one of the characters you can date in the game.
Yeah, they cut out some of the love interest because this is only, 4 episodes?
Yeah. Oh, so do you know whether she appears again in later episodes? Because I wasn't sure.
No, I don't know a lot about the OVA.
No, I don't either.
I just know that she's a love interest, and there's a bunch of older women that got cut from the OVA.
Right. But yeah, she is a childhood friend of Wataru's. She's played by Yumi Takada, who works mostly as a casting director these days. She was the voice of Yoshinaga-sensei in Shin-chan, and she was the voice of Shelly in Xenosaga. But yeah, she has one line here.
Cool.
Maybe more in later episodes, but I don't know. This show is so poorly documented on the internet that I think to find out anything about this show, we would just have to watch the other episodes ourselves.
There was a section in the video that I watched that went into the show, but I wasn't paying as much attention to that as I was the rest of it. So that had more information, probably more than what you were able to dig up.
Yeah, as far as like text-based sources, I really couldn't find much about the show at all. I mean, it pretty much only exists on shady porn websites.
Right. I did notice you got this from Hentai Heaven, or at least it came there at some point.
Yeah,
it passed through those doors.
Yeah, it passed through the hallowed halls of Hentai Heaven. So he's riding home on his bike, and he spots Mai in a bookshop or library. I'm unclear.
I was going to say I think it's a bookshop, but it really is unclear, isn't it?
Yeah, I assume it's a bookshop just because I don't really know of any libraries that have like windows like that at the front.
Right.
That was like a shop window. He goes in to speak to her. He asks her out for a walk, but she says she has too many club activities and piano lessons and things. And then she runs away.
Yeah, she really sounds like she's burdened by a busy lifestyle.
Yeah, she's trying to have it all.
I don't know that she is. I definitely took away from this that it's not entirely her choice to be this busy.
Yeah, parental expectations.
Yep.
I never had any of those.
Lucky.
So it took me ages to actually realize this, but at home that night, Wataru is reading the book that she was picking up at the bookshop.
That makes sense, because he does quote it later.
Yeah. When I first watched this scene, I figured it was just he was studying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was when he quotes it to her later that I realized that that's what he was reading.
At least from the translation, it's not super clear what exactly it is that she is looking at.
No, for sure. He gets interrupted because Kazuya shows up at his house, upset about Kurumi. Clearly he got rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Kurumi is a love interest for Wataru anyway, so...
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
But I sent you the video. It's a whole thing.
Okay, I'll watch it afterwards.
It's like an hour long.
And then next time we talk about this show, I'll have the context of the game. I almost bought the game, actually, because it's on Steam.
I mean, according to that video, it's worth it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. And like honestly, this show kind of sold me on it. Anyway, the next day, everybody at school is doing sports. This is where it really hit me that they're in school.
Right. It's summer vacation, but many of them are still in school for sports.
He's watching Misa run around the track. They argue some more. She wants to ask him something, but she gets called away by a teacher. So he goes by the pool and sees Mai laughing with Kenji, which breaks his heart.
How dare she show her smile to someone else?
But Misa interrupts and takes him up to the roof to talk. And we're not really told too much about Misa and Wataru's prior, relationship. It seems like they must be quite close friends.
Yeah.
Because she confides in him quite a lot. They seem to have known each other for a long time. But when we're first introduced to her, it's mostly she's just yelling at him for different things. But I guess that tracks with someone who's known someone for a long time.
I mean, it's you and me.
I guess so.
We just show up, we yell at each other, we kill some monsters, we go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, and then occasionally we confide in each other about bad things that are happening. You're right.
Yeah.
So she takes him up to the roof. She tells him that her parents want her to quit the track club to concentrate on her exams. And I thought this was good. Like, they did a good job of kind of like setting her up as, it's made clear to us that she's been doing track club the whole time she's at the school since she began, and she assumed that she would be running the final race. She spent her whole school life preparing for the final race, and now she feels bad about the idea of dropping out of track club before it.
It does a good job of setting that up, but it also does a good job of setting up that Wataru is actually a good guy. He just is also an idiot.
That's the thing. I actually really like him.
He feels like an actual person instead of just a rant.
He does, yeah. Because he's a doofus, and he does some thoughtless things just from being a doofus. But when it comes to it, he is pretty good at, comforting people, and he's a good friend, I think.
Yeah.
He's like Joey from Friends.
The friend.
The only one that matters. So yeah, he tells her that she shouldn't worry about what her parents think, and that if she really wants to see through track club, then she should. And she thanks him and leaves. He's not expecting a thank you from her, so he's surprised to get it.
I get it. I have relationships like that with people where I'm the one that won't thank you.
Then as she goes down the stairs, she hesitates, so we know that she has feelings for him secretly. And then suddenly there's blood.
Oh, yeah, I was real concerned at first.
All of a sudden, there's blood everywhere. There's heads getting hacked off.
It's like, this took a dark turn.
Yeah. Wataru is now at the movie with Miho, and it's a horror movie, I guess.
One would guess.
On the ticket, like from the poster that we saw on the ticket, I guessed it would have been a romantic movie, but apparently not.
She does say in her letter that she wants to see romantic movie. I
Yes.
wonder if it's like an honest mistake or if he's just that dumb.
Maybe. She is just screaming constantly. Just top of her voice screaming through this movie. And he is getting concerned because everyone else in the theater is getting annoyed by it. Yeah, and we see her letter where she explicitly asks to see a romantic movie. So I don't know. Because at first, like, when it first cut to them in the theater watching this and she's screaming, my first thought was, oh, is she one of those girls who, like, really likes horror movies but can't watch them alone because she gets too scared? But no, she didn't want to see this at all.
No. She's actually just that sweet girl that wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah. To try to calm her down, Wataru kisses her, and then we cut to the next day where Misa is yelling at him for what he did to Miho. Because she called Misa in tears that night, and we see a flashback to the kiss. We see that when he kissed her, she cried and slapped him. I'm assuming that she's one of those girls who her first kiss is like very important to her, and then that was her first kiss and she was furious about it and like devastated.
Or just wasn't ready for it.
No, and I felt really bad for her in that moment.
Yeah. Got dragged to this terrible movie she didn't want to see.
Yeah.
Gets kissed by this man.
But so far, like, of all the girls that we've seen so far, Miho is the one who was the most openly interested in Wataru.
Yeah.
And she's also the one that he seemed the least interested in.
Yep. Just like, I guess I'll go on a date with her.
Yeah, I mean, she asked me, so. It was a little bit hard to follow this conversation with the poor subtitles that we had access to.
Yeah.
But in some way, Misa asks him who he really likes, and he says that the girl he likes the most is her, Misa. And she gets embarrassed and runs away. I'm assuming that the two of them are like childhood friends.
Yeah.
That's the
or
vibe
at least
I
have
get.
known each other for a while.
Yeah. We see Mai leaving the school, and some of her friends ask her if she's too busy to spend time with them again, and she apologizes to them and leaves. So we know that she wasn't just lying to Wataru about being busy.
She actually is that busy.
Yeah, and she's not spending time with her friends either because of it. So this is the part, you were saying that Kenji is Mai's boyfriend.
Yes, in the game.
In the game, okay, because here Wataru confronts her about it, asks her if she's dating Kenji. She doesn't answer at first, so he assumes that she is, but then she says outright that she's not.
I don't know, because she's not exactly happy about it in the game. Like, it's basically arranged by her parents.
Oh, I see.
So that's why you're able to steal her from Kenji, because she doesn't really like him.
Right. Well, he quotes the book that she was buying at her.
It is incomprehensible.
Yeah, it sure is. Probably just, someone needs to subtitle this better.
Yeah, these are crunchy.
He asks her out to a water park. She says that she can't because she has piano lessons, but then he says, can't you skip them? And she's like, okay.
Just this one time.
On his way home, he finds Misa, who's fallen off her bike and her knee is bleeding pretty bad. And she doesn't want his help, but he puts her on his back and carries her home.
Yeah, because she apparently banged it up so bad she can't even waddle over to her bike.
Yeah, he tells her that they need to get her back so that her leg doesn't get any worse. So he carries her. I was confused by this next part because I initially thought it was a nightmare she was having, but then it seems like it really did happen.
I'm pretty sure it is a nightmare, but also something did happen. Like, she's had a long-term injury that she's neglected.
Oh, is that... Because, yeah, we see her running in a black void, and then her leg hurts and she falls down. And then we see her discussing it with her teacher and her parents. And they're saying that her leg needs surgery, so she can't continue with track club because of it. And then she wakes up in tears wanting to talk to Wataru. So I thought it was a dream, It was a bad dream that might happen. But then the next day in the afternoon, Wataru gets a call from Misa's teacher asking him to come to school because she asked for him. And she tells him that she fell down during practice and that she needs surgery. So, like, was it a dream or what?
A dream, but also a premonition, perhaps.
Maybe.
It's, like I said, it sounds like she's had kind of like a long-term thing and she's pushed herself so hard it's just exacerbated it.
Maybe.
It's real hard to tell from the subtitles.
It really is. Misa's teacher, by the way, is Meiko Saito, who is one of the love interest options in the game.
Yeah, it's the school nurse.
Yeah, she is played by Arisa Ando, who played Airi in Fist of the North Star. That's the main thing she's known for. So anyway, Misa breaks down in the nurse's office, tells Wataru that she's afraid that she won't be able to keep running, and he makes her feel better, and she kisses him, and now they're suddenly undressed.
Yeah.
And foreplay
It escalates quickly.
It starts really abruptly, and it goes on for quite some time, despite the fact that we don't really see much. It's kind of all vibes.
Yeah, it's all vibes, but also titties.
I had forgotten that it was a hentai show until this point. Like, genuinely, there's been so little erotic content.
There's been so little erotic content, but it's been so heavily focused on dating every girl that I was like, oh, here it is.
Yeah, but there's so many anime that are like that and don't contain any titties.
That's true.
Mostly, I feel like most anime that are all about, like, every girl is a love interest, usually the main character doesn't end up with any of them, because that would upset the audience.
Right. What do you mean he married my waifu? I have her body pillow. She's loyal only to me.
Exactly. But yeah, now there's sex happening. It's happening. We get to hear Togepi's
moans of pleasure.
Yeah.
Since you're gonna try and beat around the bush, I'll just say it.
It's surprisingly romantic and wholesome. I mean, I guess compared to what we got from Rants.
You mean non-consensual?
Yeah, there's consent here. It was quite sweet.
Yeah.
The afterglow shot makes sure to remind us, in no uncertain terms, that this is all happening in the school nurse's office.
I know, the whole time I'm like, what? Aren't they still at school?
Yes.
What if the nurse just had to come back in for something?
I think she knew what was happening in there, and I think she kept people out. I think she's facilitating this. I mean, somebody got to clean those sheets.
Yeah. Roll them up, hand them to the janitor.
It's just the fact that, like, the sex concludes, and then they fade in the sounds of all the kids outside the window.
Right, like they're just out playing dodgeball right outside.
Anyway, we jump ahead to autumn, which was a shock to me.
Yeah, I got real whiplash from this part.
Yeah, because Wataru runs into Misa on the street, and apparently they haven't seen each other, I guess, since the copulation. She's had the surgery now and should be back at school soon. And she talks about how before she had thought that track was her whole life, but now that she's taken some time away from it, she's found some other things that excite her just as much. She won't tell him what, though. She says she'll tell him later.
Leaving us in suspense.
And then she says that next time she sees him, she'll come visit him at his home. And then she runs away against all medical advice.
Literally.
Yeah. And then that's the end.
That's it.
I did notice there were some scenes from other episodes in the credits, which is how I know that Wataru is going to be spending some time with Kurumi his best friend's love interest.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
It gets spicy.
The ending song is called Wake Up Love. I thought it was quite cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. I liked it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. Who's your favorite girl?
Of the ones we've seen so far,
Yeah.
probably Misa. I love a tomboy.
Me too. I don't understand his fascination with Mai. She seems boring.
I mean, she's like the perfect girl. She's pretty, she's popular, she's smart, she does everything.
Ugh. Boring.
Right, give me that feisty tomboy that doesn't even like me that much.
Yeah, right? That's all I want. I want a girl who yells at me and isn't very girly and who falls off her bike and I have to carry her home.
Yeah, he had such an obsession with her talking manly.
Did he?
He mentioned it a few times.
I don't
and then,
remember.
like, in the ending where she's had the surgery and it's autumn and whatever, and he's like, oh, she's talking more like a woman now.
Oh, I didn't even
Like,
pick
this
up
is-
on that.
Weird.
I don't care about that.
No.
No, I liked her because she was cute and she was funny. That's the way to my heart. Make me laugh and yell at me.
And fall off your bike.
Call me an idiot. Get some knee surgery. Yeah, and like I said, I kind of forgot that it was an erotic OVA until the only horny scene started.
Right. Because it keeps a pretty wholesome tone.
It does. I feel like with most hentai stuff, like you said earlier, like we know why we're here with most of it. They just get straight into they're gonna show us what we came to see.
Right.
But this one doesn't. This one takes its time. It fleshes out its characters. It builds some romance. And then even when it does get into the business end of the stick,
Business end.
we don't see a whole lot of his business end.
No.
Or hers. It's just, we just get some nipple play on screen and then the rest is all vibes.
All vibes and thrusting.
Yeah. Would you believe this was released to American audiences?
Absolutely not.
Well, it was. It was released, as far as I can tell, with subtitles only. The only other language dub I could find any info about was a Spanish dub. So I'm assuming there was no English dub. But it was released by ADV Films, the same company that brought us the Sonic OVA. And like the Sonic OVA, they took episodes in pairs of 2 and combined them to make 2 movies.
Okay.
So this episode that we watched was released in America as the first half of a movie called End of Summer.
Okay.
And then the other 2 episodes were combined into another movie called End of Summer 2.
Is it preserved? Like, can you find that anywhere?
I could not find it anywhere, no. So I don't know if it's out there. Because all I found when I was looking for it was this one.
That does seem to be the impression I got. It isn't well preserved, and it's mostly that horribly translated one that floats around.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that there's another anime called The End of Summer Maharaba. Yeah, Maharaba, Heartful Days, which is on Crunchyroll.
More like fartful days.
And then there's another one that's coming up here called The Tunnel to Summer Exit of Goodbyes.
Exit of goodbyes.
I couldn't find End of Summer out there, but if anybody knows where it is and wants to tell us, get in touch with us, because we'd love to know if it's out there. I did find a listing for a DVD, but it had been sold out for years.
For years!
Yeah. But at some point, Amazon had it.
So this raw one that I found was uploaded by the same person that did the video I watched earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's cool then. So they were
Yeah.
interested in preserving it.
Yeah. Like, she has like a PC-98. She has a bunch of the original discs, cartridges, whatever, that a lot of the games she talks about are on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I like her.
I think we might have said everything that we need to say about this.
There's no legacy?
I don't think so, because I think this is a fairly straight adaptation of the game that just omits things.
Yeah.
I don't think... although I guess the voice actors of this are probably a legacy. I'm assuming that the PC 98 game didn't have any voices. And I know that most of the voice actors from this went on to reprise these roles in Dokyusei Climax.
Oh.
So I guess that's the legacy of this. Dokyusei Climax was another OVA series made a year later than this one.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I don't think that these voice actors went on to play the characters in the remake, because they have voices in the one that you can get on Steam now, but I'm pretty sure it's not these voice actors. Let me have a look again. I know it lists them on the Steam page. I'm pretty sure I looked through to check and it was different people. Bang in Summer. It's on my wish list now, I forgot. I wish listed it.
I'm not surprised.
They also have the first dating sim I ever played on Steam now, so I wish listed that too.
Which one is that?
True Love 95.
Why do I feel like I've heard of that? There's no reason I would have heard of that.
You might have. Yeah, these are different. Yeah, they've got new voice actors. No familiar names here.
Boo.
But that's okay. There's a lot more girls here than what we saw in this show.
Yeah, I told you they cut a bunch of the MILFs.
Yeah.
MILF and vibe only.
Well, the only MILF they kept was Mako, and they cut her younger sister.
Yeah.
But, there's 3 more episodes. Maybe some MILFs will show up.
No, I think the MILFs all got cut, except for the nurse. And she's not a love interest.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, the nurse is a love interest.
I mean in the
in the show.
OVA.
Right.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
On this lovey-dovey holiday that isn't today.
Turn to your left and smooch whoever's there.
Consensually. Sir or madam or whatever, may I have this smooch?
The Super Breakfast Friends have decreed I must smooch you. Will you allow it?
Hear ye, the royal decree of a smooch upon the cheek.
Spread the love. I'm gonna make the thumbnail pink.
Spread the love like a contagious virus.
Don't spread a contagious virus, though. Wear a
Just
mask.
the love. Smooch through the mask. Cut out just the circle for your lips to pucker out.
Oh, a lip mask.
It's the opposite of a lip mask. It masks everything but the lips.
Everybody, will you be our Valentine? Let's
Please.
really get parasocial this year.
Please. Please respond.
Just respond in the comments, Y or N.
But you have to do it in a letter. You can't say it to our faces.
In a comment.
It's a letter.
Yeah. 1 letter, Y or no. Wait, no. No's not a letter. You know what I meant.
Remember in elementary school when everybody would have like a little box that people were supposed to put Valentines in?
Yeah.
That's the comment section.
Put your Valentine in our comments. Or, if you'd like, put it in our Patreon at patreon.com/superbreakfastfriendsclub. You like what I
Or
did there?
perhaps the coffee.
Perhaps. There's only one way to find out. Thank you to our current Patreon patron, Valentine, Jamie Core.
Valentine. Jamie gets it by default for being in the Cool Kids Club.
Yeah. Well, who? Did anybody else want to join Jamie in the Cool Kids Club? It's right there. The
You
options
can be our
open.
Valentine forever.
Or at least for this year.
You have to apply for next year.
That's when we're closing it down. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, why are you so sad? You don't want him to
No. I want the chocolate.
go? Yeah, where's our chocolate?
Bring me Valentine's chocolate.
Nobody gave me any chocolate.
Me neither.
Boo.
Worst Valentine's ever.